Netflix just dropped the trailer for Volume 2, which is coming out on Christmas Day. It's intense, it's scary, and it raises about 1 million new questions while answering absolutely 0 of them. Let's break down absolutely every single second of this trailer and what it means for the end of the world. So let's look at where we are starting from, because Volume 1 left us in a really intense spot. Hawkins is basically a war zone. The residents are living in lockdown because the military is there investigating the rift and hunting for 11. It's bleak. We saw Demogorgons literally crossing over into the real world and attacking people, including Mike and Nancy's parents. This is such a massive shift from the earlier seasons where everything was hidden and conspiratorial. Now the horror is out in the open, and it feels like the town is under siege in a way we've never seen before. Almost like a Red Dawn situation, but with monsters. And Vecna's searching for new victims. He even abducted Holly Wheeler, Mike and Nancy's little sister. But the craziest part of that whole situation is that when Holly got taken, she ran into Max, who has been in a coma since the end of Season 4. Somehow she's there, and the two of them realize they are trapped inside Vecna's memories. That is such a trippy concept. In an interview with Deadline, Stranger Things creators Matt and Ross Duffer have stated Volume 2 will explore Vecna's memories from when he was just Henry Creel, which was hinted at when Max explored Vecna's mindscape and stumbled into high school, where fans saw young Joyce Byers. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more of young Joyce and maybe even young Hopper in these flashbacks, giving us context on why Hawkins is such a cursed location to begin with. Meanwhile, back in the real world, or what's left of it, Demogorgons were wrecking the military base, and it looked like everyone was going to be eaten until Will finally stepped up. He started believing in himself and managed to summon that hidden power to control the monsters and save everyone. But, and there is always a but with this show, Vecna survived the military assault without a scratch. He walked away, and he is ready to take over Hawkins and the rest of the world. That brings us to this new trailer for Volume 2. The trailer opens on the ending scene of Volume 1 with a destroyed Hawkins at night. Fires are burning, military vehicles are abandoned, and bodies or debris litter the ground. Will Byers is on the ground amidst the wreckage. In a voiceover, he admits defeat, saying they never stood a chance, just before the scene cuts to an emotional Will being comforted by his mother, Joyce. She is telling everyone that the battle is not over, and she says, "Not by a long shot. We are not in the clear. The heroes might be bloodied and battered from the first volume, but they have to keep going." One of the most interesting parts of the trailer involves Steve and Dustin. We see them wandering through what looks like Hawkins' lab, but it's in the upside down because everything is covered in those gross vines. Dustin says, "This whole time, everything we have ever assumed about the upside down has been dead wrong." That is a massive statement. We have spent years theorizing about this place, thinking we knew the rules, and now Dustin is telling us we know nothing. It makes you wonder what the truth actually is. My gut tells me that the Upside Down isn't a parallel dimension in the way we think, but perhaps a future version of Hawkins, or a physical manifestation of Henry Creel's psyche that has overwritten reality. And then, just to make it creepier, Steve and Dustin look up at this angry ball of swirling red and black stuff in the sky. One of the most notable surprises looks to be the nature of the Upside Down and the gates used to access it. Steve and Dustin and Jonathan and Nancy each encounter what appears to be a large, writhing, shifting gate high above their head, so different from how gates have appeared so far in the series. It looks terrifying, and it reminds me of the It from A Wrinkle in Time, if you've read that book. This swirling entity might be the true form of the Mind Flayer, unmasked and raw, showing us that Vecna might just be a general in an even larger army. Then the music kicks in, and it's Diana Ross singing Upside Down. It's such a perfect, slightly ironic choice for this show. We see Eleven putting on headphones and tying on a dark blue bandana, which has become her signature look lately. She is tuning into the void, but she's not doing it alone this time. She asks Callie to help her. She's 8, Eleven's lost sister from back in Season 2, who was also a victim of Dr. Brenner's experiments at Hawkins' lab. Linnea Berthelsen is back. This is huge because fans have been wondering about Callie for years. Elle asks her to help me find him, kill him. And when we talk about Vecna, we are also talking about Henry Creel in 1, since they are all the same person. Jamie Campbell Bower has been so menacing in this role. The trailer shows us glimpses of him in all his different forms. We see the human Henry, the gaunt, orderly Henry after he got his life sucked out, and the monster Vecna. It flashes back and forth between them, which is really unsettling. Vecna appears to be having an identity crisis as he continues terrorizing Holly Wheeler, and he even transforms into Vecna in real time as he walks down a flight of stairs. This identity flickering suggests that Henry is losing control, or perhaps the different parts of his personality are fracturing under the pressure of maintaining the Upside Down. We also check in on Max and Holly. They are together in that weird mind space. Fans were previously introduced to a cave in which Max has been hiding, as her body rests in the hospital in Hawkins, though it is clear that the pair will leave the cave and travel through a floating door, destination currently unknown. Max is shown trying to escape through these doorways, which looks like it will be episode 6, Escape from Camazotz. The visuals are surreal. A quick shot shows Holly walking into the window of a bedroom, visually representing the upside-down nature of their reality, and later a freestanding door appears in a grassy field. Since Max is still technically in a coma in the real world, this whole plotline of her and Holly getting through Vecna's mind prison is going to be a total mindbender. The reference to Camazotz is fascinating because in Mayan mythology, Camazotz is a bat god associated with night, death, and sacrifice, which could imply that Max is navigating the literal underworld of Vecna's creation. Then the action ramps up. We see the whole crew: Lucas, Mike, Murray, Nancy, Jonathan, Dustin, Steve, Robin, and Erica. They are busting through a giant gate in this truck called the Mac Z. Nancy Wheeler, who is arguably the biggest badass on the show, goes into full sniper mode. She pops out of a makeshift sunroof in the truck to take out soldiers standing in their way. Murray Bauman is shown driving the truck, screaming as the windshield is riddled with bullets from the army, including Linda Hamilton during a chase. I love seeing Nancy take charge like that. She's come so far from season 1. We also get a new hint at how the group might fight back. There is a tight close-up of Robin cranking a large industrial dial labeled Power Stat into the red zone. Sparks fly and electricity arcs violently to a tied Demogorgon. It strongly implies they are using a massive surge of electricity to hurt the hive mind, similar to how sound hurt the symbiote in Spider-Man or heat hurt the Mind Flayer in Season 2. This electricity trap could be a way to sever the connection between the creatures and Vecna, essentially deactivating his army. But Vecna is not intimidated. We hear his voice saying, "It is time for new worlds." That is chilling. He doesn't just want to destroy Hawkins, he wants to remake everything. And then we get a moment that probably made every fan's heart stop. We see Dustin and Steve together. Before Volume 1 came out, we saw a tease of them hugging, which was sweet, but this trailer takes it to a scary place. They repeat a phrase from Season 3, "You die, I die." In the trailer, Steve says it to Dustin, and Dustin says it back. On one hand, it shows how deep their friendship is. They are a team, but on the other hand, it feels like a really bad omen. We don't want either of them to die, obviously. In Season 3, it was kind of a joke when they were trapped in that elevator, but now, with the stakes this high, it feels like a goodbye. It really highlights that they have patched things up after the rough patch they had in Volume 1. Remember how miserable they were? Dustin was grieving Eddie and Steve didn't know how to fix it, so they were fighting. Seeing them united again is great, but that quote is terrifying. If I had to place a bet, I am terrified that Steve is going to sacrifice himself to save Dustin, fulfilling his arc from the selfish popular kid to the ultimate protector, and it will absolutely wreck us. The trailer also gives us a lot of focus on Will. The Duffer Brothers have been saying that recentering the story on Will was always the plan. Ross Duffer mentioned that they always knew Will had a connection to Vecna and the Upside Down. In Season 2, they explored it a bit, but now they are going all in. The idea is, what if Will could use that connection against the villain? It feels right because Will was the one who went missing in the very first episode. He's the key to ending it. We see him with his eyes rolling back, turning all white, just like they did at the end of Volume 1 when he controlled the monsters. We get to see more of this Sorcerer Will, but only a glimpse. It looks like he's going to have a massive showdown with Vecna. There is also this military aspect that just adds so much pressure. It's the fall of 1907. Hawkins is scarred by the rifts. The government has the town under quarantine. They are hunting Eleven, forcing her into hiding again. It's almost the anniversary of Will's disappearance, so there is this heavy dread hanging over everything. The gang is trying to find Vecna, but he's vanished. They don't know his plans. It's a race against time. As for lingering concerns surrounding the welfare of Max, Lucas, and Vicky, who each appear to be inside Hawkins Memorial Hospital when it's attacked by at least one Demodog, it's unclear when the attack takes place or what happens during. I worry that Lucas, who has been Max's guardian this whole time, is going to be put in an impossible situation where he has to choose between protecting her body or helping his friends. As Ross Duffer revealed earlier this week, the next 3 episodes are Shock Jock, Escape from Camazotz, and The Bridge. He added that Shock Jock picks up moments after the end of Sorcerer. Frank Darabont is back, but he flexes very different muscles on this one than he did on Turnbow Trap. It's far darker and far scarier. He also mentioned that Escape from Camazotz is Sean Levy's return to the director's chair and is the biggest episode of the 3, with performances that make them cry every time they watch it. Regarding the last episode of the volume, Duffer said, "The Bridge, we co-directed this one with Sean. Don't want to say too much, but aside from the finale, it's probably the most emotional chapter of the season." He also ominously noted that it's going to be a long 6-day wait for the finale. The title The Bridge could refer to a literal bridge between worlds, or perhaps a metaphorical bridge between life and death, hinting that someone we love is going to have to make the ultimate crossing. The trailer has terrified us, excited us, and we are all just waiting for the clock to tick down to Christmas now. I just hope that when the dust settles in 1987, there's actually a Hawkins left to save.